What is up, everybody? Welcome, one and all, to Video Game Music Alliance. This is the live composing show, and my name is Stephen Melin. Hope you guys are doing fabulous here today. I missed you guys last week. Oh, man. It seems that my goal of being here once a week is not always possible. For those who are unaware, I've recently moved the studio back home. Currently awaiting, we still have about 6 months, but awaiting our 6th child here in the house, which is kind of bonkers, but it is what it is. And I'm excited to be back home and to be closer to family, but with 5 littles. I guess they're not all super little, but the littlest of them all, they're super fun. But man, it's a lot. So it's good to be around and to be helpful there. But for those who know what the studio looks like behind me, there's a bunch of percussion instruments and keyboards and stuff. And so it's a pretty common day that the littles are running in here and strumming guitars and banging on drums, and it's a lot of fun. It's kind of crazy. Man, I hope you guys have had a good 2 weeks. I'm excited to be back. Quick shout out to Ethan, Ju, Sarah, Marie, Matt, Bailey, Sector 7. Howdy, Micah. What's up, guys? We back. Hope everybody's having a good summer so far. Can't believe it's almost August already. It's pretty wild. Ready to get back into that school season. But yeah, today is Pikmin 4 day, because tomorrow on the Nintendo Switch, Pikmin 4 is releasing. And can we just pause to recognize that this has been a pretty stellar year for Nintendo Switch? Nintendo in general. I mean, we had the launch of the Mario movie. We have Nintendo Land. I think that was back in February. And then obviously all these great Nintendo games. A lot of remasters, but also new entries in series such as Pikmin. It's actually been a decade. It's been 10 years since Pikmin 3. It's pretty insane. And I think it's been like 8 years since they announced it. So this game has a lot of hype around it. Pikmin is not exactly my cup of tea as far as a game to play, but I think the music's really interesting and the idea of the game is very interesting. And of all of the entries so far, from the little bit of gameplay that I've witnessed so far for Pikmin 4, I actually think it's the most accessible because it has much more attention paid to modern gaming conventions. It just seems like it's way more accessible and perhaps a great entry point for anyone that's never played a Pikmin game, such as myself. But I'm excited about this stream today because we're going to really dive into the Nintendo sound, which has a very specific vernacular, has a very specific set of instruments. And Nintendo music, if you think of like the Wii shop or the Wii U shop, those types of themes, or like the Wii Sports, anything really from the 3DS Wii era, which is like 6th or 7th generation in console generation timing, all the way through modern day, Nintendo has had this very unique eclectic sound, which is usually a mixture of very obscure synth sounds mixed with piano and marimbas, mixed with maybe harmonica, like jazz drum kits. It's this very specific sound that a ton of Japanese composers have used in the last decade plus. And so today I want to really lean into that side of things and make just a fun, quirky piece of music that might sound like Animal Crossing or might sound like, well, Pikmin. That's the goal. So this is going to be a fun stream today. Hope you guys are going to have a good one here today. In preparation for this, I pulled open my handy dandy, not my notebook, Blue's Clues fans, but Contact, handy dandy Contact. And inside Contact, if you've seen my video where I've done a walkthrough on the VGM Alliance website, perhaps Matt, if you're watching right now, if you can find the link for that, that'd be super helpful. If you can find the masterclass that we've done on the VGM site, the VGMA site, it describes, it's about an hour long. It's a masterclass where I teach you guys how I built a collection of 1,800 plus custom Contact instruments from my favorite games in video game music history. And essentially what I did is I tracked down the original synthesizers, the original VSTs, the original CD-ROMs, and I scoured the internet and I looked up several spreadsheets of people who have painstakingly gone through and found the exact patch of that one moment in Zelda, that one moment in this Super Mario game, this one moment in Metroid Prime, right? And they've gone back and they've tracked down, this is the patch from this synth, from this Korg collection, or this patch from the Roland Sound Canvas. And it's amazing. So go check that out. If you're interested, it is super technical and super geeky. I won't bore you with that here, but essentially I've created this database. And even this morning, I was playing around with it a bit, organizing, reorganizing, making it a lot easier to just sort and organize. And I'm very thankful that I'm on a Windows PC. I have nothing against Mac. I actually love using Macs too, but I came from the Mac world. But in Windows, there's something about the search engine and the filtering that allows you to so quickly find certain search terms, and then you can just copy and paste shortcuts or whatever. And so now on my machine, since I'm using Contacts and now Contact 7, I guess the previous version was Contact 6. So right in front of you can see Contact 6. No matter what I'm doing, I can always just copy and paste all of these shortcuts to the original files. And it's just a whole thing where I've set up this system, again, painstakingly, spent about a month setting up the system so that now in a moment's notice, I can pull open all of my favorite Nintendo marimbas from video game history, from different Mario games, Zelda games, etc. And these are the sounds that were used in those games from different portions of history. So my goal here today was to really capture the sound of the GameCube /Wii /Wii U / maybe the DS or the Nintendo Switch, which I know is quite a chunk of history, but curiously you find that the marimbas, the pianos, the pizzicato strings, the electric pianos, the harmonicas, the jazz drum kits, the patches used in modern games are maybe 90% of the time the exact same patches used historically on the GameCube, on the DS, on the 3DS, on the Wii and the Wii U, and now Switch. There's this legacy of Nintendo. I keep saying yeah, I do mean that in its true form, that these are patches that obviously Nintendo does not own, but they were popular at those different stages in history. So they used them so many times that now using them is like using the original Nintendo patches. So this might be something you want to explore if you are a Contact owner. You might enjoy this process. It is a lengthy, time-consuming process, but it has paid dividends thousands of times over now in my career, because now when I want to sound like something, I can actually go to the thing. So today I pulled open marimbas, pianos, pizzicato strings, electric piano, harmonica, and jazz. And I've already picked my favorites of the list, but I just want to at least show you what we're working with here today and tell me if this does not immediately sound like some of these games. So my piano choices, I'll let you guys do a little taste test here. I'm going to put the one I actually like the best. How do I do this? Okay, like that. Let me do this before I get miserably lost and confused. I want to put my actual favorite choices on top. That way I don't accidentally forget them. And I think we're good. So of the different Nintendo pianos in history, and by the way, I think Matt posted the link. Yep. If anyone cares to watch that masterclass, Matt just posted it in the live chat. Enjoy that. It's a free masterclass. So of the different pianos in history, the one I landed on was the Donkey Kong 64 grand piano. Which is Grant Kirkhope. What's a good Donkey Kong song? That one. Some other choices were the piano from Mario and Luigi, But I found that a lot of the GBA and DS samples have such a quick release to make space because they're so small. They're fun, but they're really hard to use in a modern context. It's cool, but it's almost too retro. That kind of thing. The Contact grand piano is used in a ton of games. That's more cinematic. Super Mario Sunshine has another one. It's super compressed for some reason. But it's GameCube. I mean, they had to compress like crazy. Not a fan of that one. But the one, and then the most famous of all is probably the piano 16-foot grand piano from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and basically every Zelda game since. And it's this one. You've heard it, I promise. In 64, baby. It's so nostalgic that I don't know how to separate that from Zelda, so I can't use it. But at the end of the day, I want to do some bluesy jazz that sounds very, very short release, but it's hard to describe what I'm looking for. I want a short release, which kind of narrows our focus down to the Wii era or the GameCube era. I'm shocked this came from the N64. But the little piano idea that I played before we started the stream that I wanted to use today sounds like this. And that's it. I really wanted to harp on this. Let me back up. Nintendo music, if we're talking about the last 15, 20 years of Nintendo properties. So that'd be the Wii Shop stuff, the Wii Sports, that kind of sound. It's a very particular sound. It is a jazz fusion style, and it typically focuses on bitonality, polytonality. Essentially, it's two chords on top of each other. You could also call it ninth chords or 11th chords in music theory. So I'm going to be focusing on a lot of that today. Let me jump to the keys so you can see. So left hand, F chord, F major, it's really an F5. And then the right hand is a C chord. So it's a C over F. And then I'll probably also do a G7 chord over that same F. So nothing ever really feels resolved. And then also in this style, we have a lot of back and forth. I wouldn't call it polka, like Banjo-Kazooie. Boom, bum, boom, bum, boom, bum, boom, bum. It's not quite that extreme, but it is a back and forth, whether it's pizzicato strings, whether it's an electric piano or a bass or harmonica, whatever. These eclectic instruments, there's always this kind of bop, 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 bop. And then there's all these little flourishes. And it never really resolves because we're in the key of C. We might get there eventually. We don't start there. This is very pop-centric. So we're starting on a 4 chord. And we're just kind of playing chords on top of that. It's amazing how much that works. Right? So there's that. And also, you hear a lot of marimba in this kind of style. So I went through the history of marimbas of Nintendo. I landed on the new Super Mario Bros. For Wii. There's something about it. That release is so extreme. It's so bright. Not great. And it doesn't resonate, meaning once I play the note, it just kind of fades out really quick. So I guess the sustain is very low. And it's bright, so it's going to cut through any mix. It feels like the perfect Nintendo, and it is. It's from Mario Brothers. Some of the other options were the Super Mario Sunshine. This is much more realistic as that whole verb. Here's Paper Mario, 1,000 Year Door. That was my second pick. Love it. Here's the Contact Marimba used in a bajillion games. Might be good for underwater kind of stuff, but it's way too realistic. That's not the goal. And then there's the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Is this the Switch one? Yes, this is the Switch version. I mean, that's like the sound. I guess it'd be the come on, don't fail me now. That was a really good remake, by the way. So anyway, I've landed on this. This just gives me all the Animal Crossing vibes. There we are. Bitonality for the win. And moving on, string pizzicato. There were lots of choices here, but the two that I landed on that I really had a hard time deciding between are both from Wind Waker, actually, from GameCube era. They apparently, meaning Koji, used apparently two different pizzicatos for the same game. I find that very interesting. So one was called Pizzicato 1, the other was Pizzicato Strings. So here's Pizzicato 1. We all know it. Oops. Ugh. That is the sound. I have to finish. It's so fun. And compare that to the other. Hey, thanks for the sub. Welcome to the family. And here's the other one from Wind Waker. I don't know why it's so reverby or what the actual context was, but you can hear the GameCube-ness. I still like it. I don't know if this was like using the pirate ship or like the caves. Something like that. I don't know. But for our purposes. It's so good. And this is not to be confused with the sounds used for Ocarina of Time. That was a totally different. Each of the Zelda games has its own set of string samples. And curiously, the pizzicato strings used in Twilight Princess, which was also a GameCube game. You could call it a Wii game, but it was really a GameCube game first. Alongside Wind Waker, used a completely different set of string samples again. So there was like 4 or 5 iterations back to back where they didn't use the same, and then they used the same for Breath of the Wild and everything, obviously, since. it's close, but this is not the right one. Anyway, I digress. So for our purposes, I think I wrote this little quick B section using the same harmonic bitonality. And I want it to be really punchy. Right? Just kind of in your face. And then the Nintendo electric piano. Hope this is fun, by the way, just kind of stepping back for a minute. The Nintendo electric piano, I'm pretty sure this is from the Roland Sound Canvas, which is a VST, or you can get the actual box. I had the actual box, but it was so much easier to use the VST. This is just the most Nintendo sound I've ever heard. I'm pretty sure this is the one used. Right, and that's so fun. I think it's so playful. But that's called CC Solo, and it was used in the Super Smash Brothers games. And it is Animal Crossing, and I bet you, I haven't looked it up, but I bet you that that patch is used somewhere in Animal Crossing. It has to be. And then the Nintendo harmonica, used in Wii Fit Plus, among others. Pretty sure that is the harmonica from the SNES. But I think this is the original sample, non-compressed, because it was used in the Wii. I'm telling you, there's like this secret legacy of Nintendo samples used throughout history, and you keep hearing them repeated. But this is the benefit of doing this crazy process that I did, searching down the original samples, because now I have the full res version. It's not the compressed SNES version. So I'm thinking of Yoshi's Island. Gotta have that really janky pitch bend. And then there's a couple options from the different Wii Sports games. There's a full jazz kit and a GM kit. Pretty sure these are both from Roland Sound Canvas. And this is going to be fun for just adding those little, I guess, ancillary little hits, because part of the Nintendo sound is space. Not just playing these. That's cool, but if you really want to sound like Nintendo, then you need to leave like a lot of rests. So like you basically need to wait as long as you can possibly stand it of actual silence, and then throw in another chord. Just kind of keep waiting. I mean, count in your head. There's something about the space between them. And so one of the ways to help fill the space without it getting so uncomfortable, because you don't want it to be uncomfortable, you want it to be relaxing and not hit yourself over the head. You can make a cool little drum beat. It's not even a beat. It's just little hits. Those kind of things. Just little cymbal hits, little jazz snares in between, in the little silences. And that's what's really going to make it. So, for example, I put this little drum beat together at the beginning. It's so simple. And it seems random, but it's not. And I like leave some space. And then combine that with the little piano thing we put together at the beginning. Space. How fun is that? Love it. So this is my attempt at doing the Nintendo thing, which is eclectic, but also controlled, weird, but sensible. And I'm not sure if you've heard the original clip. It's super weird. It's actually too weird for me, and I don't like it. It's not even tonal. It's not. Maybe it's not necessarily atonal, but it's. I don't have a clip of it, by the way, with the music. But the idea is it's very sparse to the point of, to me, not being enjoyable. It almost is annoying because it's too seemingly random. Maybe once you hear it on repeat 5-10 times, you might get used to it and start to like it. But on first or second listen, it just didn't feel right. It actually used a lot of tritones, which I found very, very strange for this. This is like, I know it's weird, but it's not scary. And tritones. Has a lot of those, like. It's like those kinds of intervals, and it felt super off. That's just me. Maybe it's just the level. Maybe I'm not understanding the context, but whatever. I'm not going to say I'm going to do better. I'm just going to do me. I'm going to do my version. So let's do the thing. And by the way, in prep for this today, I tried something new. I used some AI software to take a gameplay clip, and magically, it feels like absolute magic. It magically stripped away the music and left just the sound effects, which my mind is absolutely blown that this technology exists. I thought we had something like this out there, but I didn't understand at what level. But here we are. So literally took a gameplay clip, removed all the piano and marimba and drums and things, and left me with everything else. And this is a super sound effect heavy game, which is why the music needs to be sparse. But just check this out. I'm going to play it, and you'll understand with my music now. It's pretty incredible. So here it is just with the sound effects. Like, there's a lot of music it's somehow eliminating with frequencies, and oh my gosh, it's crazy. It does have to get rid of a lot of the sound effects, like the high-pitched ones, because that's where the music is. But every time you throw one of these dudes, it's like... Still, just ridiculous that this is even possible. So I'm going to write to this today, and we'll keep playing around with the sound effects. It's going to feel... Micah wants to know what coffee. What am I rocking today? This is a vanilla, lavender, honey latte with Nicaraguan blonde roast. I've recently become a coffee snob, and being home is kind of the best because now I can make all of my delicious coffees. We have an espresso machine here, and we do it right. Because one of my life goals is to open a coffee shop. It has not happened yet, but it is in the planning stage. We're talking through some different ways to maybe get it rolling sooner than later. Literally rolling, like in a mobile cart kind of operation instead of a brick and mortar. But yeah, it's super good. If you've never combined vanilla and lavender and honey, so good. I feel like the marimba, I'm going to be really fighting myself to not add a ton of production, delays and reverbs and things. Because this is so nice. I am going to go under the hood and go to my release, though. That sounds better. Lavender soap. Hey, lavender is awesome. Too much. When I say lavender, I'm talking like 1 pump of lavender syrup or 1 pump of vanilla. It's not a lot, but just a little bit gives it some, just gives it some different, it doesn't taste flowery. It just tastes very like sweet. I feel like I need to go into like, if we're calling this A, this will be A2. It's not really an A though. It's, I don't really want to repeat myself here. We'll call this A section wise. I have so many ideas, but I don't want to go too crazy too soon. There, I went to the C chord. So I'm hanging out on this C over F chord. But I'm adding in the blues. By the way, I'm so excited. I fixed my camera. It no longer turns off and it stays at the high res the whole time. Yay. It never gets choppy. I hope. So if it gets choppy, let me know and I'll try to fix something. I've been playing around with it this week. It only took like 2 years to get the camera fixed. Anyway. Side question. Has anyone played the Final Fantasy VI remaster? The pixel remaster? It looks dumb. I feel like they just ruined all of the Final Fantasy games. I just can't bring myself to play it. And they're like $20 a pop. Anyway, just had to throw that out there. Maybe our ears need an A2, but we need to shift the instruments. I don't want to be too predictable, but there has to be enough repetition that it makes sense. So this is where I'm going to stray from the Nintendo model of just keep making new stuff. They'll catch on eventually. So here. This is a nice palette cleanser, by the way, because I've been writing some pretty dark battle combat stuff for another game. I can talk about it now. Aethermancer. Hooray! The spiritual successor to Monster Sanctuary. Very excited because the music is very different. Same team, but very different. So it's just nice to write light, happy music today. My soul needs this. Yeah, that is so Nintendo. Listen to that. I'm just digging the silence because you guys know me. I never put rest in my music, so I'm really forcing myself to do it. Like to have 4 beats of silence is very scary for me. Oh, I'm going to be really fighting the urge to overwrite today. But this game, there's so much sound that the music has to be light. It just has to be. How to overwrite in 3 seconds. Okay, I like this. I feel like we can spread this out between the pizzicato. Boom, bum. I don't know yet. Let's experiment, yeah? I like the pits. Maybe we'll just do the bass. Like split this up. I love it. Let's just keep it. Let's not ruin what's working. In the actual Pikmin 4, there's a lot of low marimba, like that. To me, it just sounds like a cave. And there are moments where your character walks into a cave and the big reverb comes on and it's just the marimba. But then it's like tritones. It's not a bad choice. It's just, I hate tritones. It doesn't feel right. And again, maybe that's the point. You know, a little spaceman with little alien vegetables. Fine. I guess you could call tritones, they're not always creepy. They're borderline funny. And alien sounding, so fine, whatever. But I'd rather lean into Lydian mode, for example, or Mixolydian mode, something that is still scalar and diatonic and melodic in nature. Like, I'd rather play a D chord in C major to get that alien goofy sound using the sharp 4. That's more interesting to me than to go straight for the tritones. Personal opinion. I'll shut up now. This is why we have different composers, right? Everyone has their own thing. I kind of like that. I like this on the second go around, filling in some of the space with a stupid marimba. These are overtones. They're not even the right notes. That's fine. I'll just turn it down. I kind of like that. It's weird. Something like that. That's a good change. Boom, 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 boom. So we'll call this, I don't know, B. Yeah, this will be the B section. And then we'll do something here different. That's C, that focuses on the strings. That's cool. Guys, I'm just spitballing here, but this is fun. I'll do that one. Here we go. Lots of rests. Yay. Okay. So I think the fun of this is playing with expectations. So I'm forcing myself to leave one extra beat or two extra beats of silence just to like to break the expectation. Otherwise, something like this it gets so boring. But if you just throw it off by one beat, and you just kind of keep it going, yeah, it subverts expectations. Like that, off the beat. Like the B. I'll do a little flam. Gliss note. Grace note. Sorry, wrong word. I'll do the first one normal. Second one will have the gliss. No, grace note. Sorry, gosh, wrong term again. I'll change the harmony too. Na da da dum da da dum ba ba dum. Yeah, there it is. It feels more final, and then it leads us really well into this C. Cool. That's gonna really land. All right. So let's fill that out a little bit. And this may end up being a shorter stream just out of virtue of it's a simpler piece of music. But this context does not call for anything complicated. I like that kind of. That was a mistake, but it was a happy accident. That's pretty cool to start the B section 4 beats later than you'd expect. So I'll just call this transition. And we can do something like a... Where's my note? Maybe something like that. Or maybe, I know what to do. When in doubt, see it out. That's dumb. Okay. Happy accident denied. So, shortcut in Cubase, the ultimate DAW. I've learned that. Okay, range, delete time. And then we go back to a regularly scheduled program. Like it never happened. is getting more Nintendo-y by the minute. Ooh, those pizzicato strings are just juicy. Ooh. I love that. Like these little fillers. Ticka-ticka-tap. Shika-ticka-tap. So let's fill some of this space with the drum kit. I have to be so particular here. I don't want to get my beat off. This is so fun. It's not random. I'm trying to fill the space without being crowded. So let me edit this just a little bit. Make it feel even better, even tighter. I had a click on in my ear, so I'm going to turn it off to make sure it feels right. I like that better. Oh, that needs to be book-a-tick-a-tap. What is it about that chord? So apparently, subconsciously, it's this C over F chord. And G over F. That's just the thing. bum 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 bum. I'll do that. And then I'll match it down here. There it is. There it is. It's more stable. Less parts moving. Cool. All right, not bad. Hey, you've already written a minute of music. Let's do a little taste test, yeah? Music plus some visuals plus sound effects. Here we go. Let me do a little bit of merging. It's definitely not done, but making some good progress here today. So you can see what's happening down there. Get my face off so you can see the music. Let's do an experiment. Cool. I'm super happy with that. That does fit really well. I found that the little marimba, the low notes were clogging up the dead space that I was trying so hard to make. I knew it was going to happen some point. I was overriding, so I tamed it down a little bit, just bits and pieces. I feel like the jazz kit's way too hot. There's a few moments where there's too many notes, but I like the minimalism. I wonder if these marimbas can be... Nah, just keep them. Nah. I like the double, the 1, 2. I don't love this part. I think it just needs to be yatta ba bump bonk, and then moves on to the next bonk. Da, 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 dun. And just straight into the next. No hesitation. It'll mean more because it plays with expectations without overstaying a melodic welcome, so to speak. Too cinematic. Don't even need it. It's an unnecessary note. I think it's also getting me in trouble here. My marimba notes does not line up with the chord. Here. No, no. Maybe just one. Yeah, that's the secret. That's the secret to everything. One less beat on all of these. It just solves so much. Hey, welcome to the party, Source. Glad you're here. Writing some Pikmin music. So same thing here. Boom, bum. I don't need a double notes. Boom, bum. Perfect. That cleans it up so much. One little note. So I'm telling you, rests are the secret to this style. Ah, see? Boom, boom. Too many. Still don't like it. I can't end it on a 1. It makes it feel like at the end of a piece. I can do that though. Yeah, that works. Because it's a small hint at the 1 chord, but it still keeps the without doing the whole whatever the whole 4 5 1. And then it allows me to do the thing. There is really no melody to this track, but I can take this little chick chick. It's a repeating idea that is now quite welcome. Ah, the wrong one. Chick chick. Where's my chick chickum? Here's my chick chickum. Whatever. Something like that to give a little bit of energy. Bop. Ooh, this is tricky. There it is. Just enough energy. And it keeps throwing us off beat on purpose. Nice. No. Wow, it instantly sucks all the fun out of it. What can I do to make that just sing? Maybe a stereo delay? Let's try it, guys. All right, so stereo delay. Let's do a eighth note. It's like 20%. It kind of sounds funny because the space kind of gives into the spaceman dynamic. It can't be annoying. It does sound like a melodica, doesn't it? I broke it. Oh no, my whole session is flipping out, guys. Oh, crud. Okay, good. Oh no, I broke it. Hold on a second. Technical difficulties. I broke it. Whoops. Unbrokeify it. Oh boy. I probably fed it too many MIDI notes, and all the releases probably just turned into a blob of RAM usage. Anyway. Back to the show. Let's do a little experiment. I want to see what else I can find in my Nintendo archives that might just inspire a little bit. Let's go to Wii era, 7th gen. Maybe accordion would be a good one. actually think accordion might do quite nicely. Oh my gosh, that's so Animal Crossing. Yay, we found one. Nintendo accordion. Accordion has an O, right? Yes. I think we found it. Oh no. I don't even feel like there's any space. Maybe here. That's a great idea, Micah. I will have to do that. I love that idea. I'll just turn it way down. And I'll set the velocity to have no range. How do I do that? There's a way. There must be a way. It doesn't matter because I can just do it manually afterwards. All right, let's do that. Great idea. Great idea. I'll do a 4-chord. Cool idea. So now I'm going to make sure they're all perfectly quantized, and then I'm going to take all of the MIDI and set it all to exactly the same, which is max velocity, which is how I set my volume. So now it should swell perfectly. I kind of like the idea of this last section being more melodic and sustained and safe. That way everything else kind of feels more pokey. I don't like this chord. I didn't record any of that. Darn. I liked that. There we go. Hey, Ethan, great question. So he's talking about an old piano course I put together. So that thing, It's short. It's meant to just be an hour's worth of content, but it is essentially, it's made for complete beginners, but adult beginners. It's made to just be a crash course. So each lesson, even though it's like 5 minutes of content, it might take you a week or two to grasp the concept of practicing it. So it's one of those things that once you master the concept, move on to the next one. But yeah, it's made for people who are not 5. So it takes large chunks and simplifies it, but also builds. So it's made for me. This is off. Boom. There we are. I like that. Cool idea, Micah, for real. I had not considered swelling the accordion, but that's a common technique. I just had to modify the sample to make it possible. Oh yeah, I mean, having piano skills is the most helpful thing in the world as a composer. No, I mean, I guess we should do the major. All right, let's put a bit more energy into this last part, and I kind of think the track's done. Let's get some drums here. That'd be cool to go. I think you should just cut off. Yum bum bum. Yum bum bum. Just make a nice loop break. We'll keep that mod wheel up. So there, good loop. I'm going to say no to the electric piano. Let's just do the... All right, where do we even go from here? I'm just going to copy this. So we're going to have some sort of ending here. like that. A groove there. So let's clean that up. Kind of keeps us on track. Let me see what that feels like. Yay. Just for fun, let's find that piano. I have that because that's one of my favorite. That was the piece of music that made me want to be a game composer. Let's see, PS2, FFX. I guess it's that same piano. I don't know. I don't even have that piano. How funny. Do I have a PlayStation piano? Maybe it's the same. Yes, it's the same one from Final Fantasy VII, Grand Piano 1, which is the same one from Super Mario Sunshine, I think. But just to be safe. Oh my gosh. The compression. I'm gonna try to play it like the PS2. Like super MIDI. What a bad piano sound. I might have to bounce my hands to make sure I'm perfectly MIDI-tastic. Here, I guess true MIDI doesn't use pedal. It's so hard to play. It's hard to play bad. This is my story. How does it go? There's so many good ones. Jordan, I would start with the Roland Sound Canvas just because it covers so much of video game music history, about half. The Korg collection will cover another like 15%, 20%. Then everything else after that is just pretty niche, little one-off for different games. And Contact Factory, which you should have if you have Contact. And then East West Play Symphonic Orchestra covers half of probably modern, I would say from the Wii U and beyond, that covers about half of it. That's just what everyone has been using for 15 years. Whether it sounds good or not, everyone knows how to use it. This can't be the sound. Is it really this bad? It's so compressed. I guess we've just all heard the live stuff for so long now. How does it go? I mean, this is the sound. Good old PS1. It's not Uematsu's fault. That's all he had to work with. Things always sound better in our head than they actually did. N64 and PS1 had abysmal samples. They did the best they could with reverb and stuff, but man, oof. But you know what? In my head, I always remember it as this. I don't know what's a good example. This is immaculately performed, a beautiful thing. Samples were bad. Whatever the notes are. Let's finish this. Yeah, let's do a quick little sound test and finish this Pikmin up. The Pikmans. Let's take the whole track and duplicate it. Like so. Make sure all the things are connected. Now that I have a complete piece of music-ish. I think it works. Let's take everything, chop it on the line, which is right here. Bam. And we'll call this the loop. And then a good way to test it sometimes is just to take everything and duplicate it over. Starting here. That way we can actually experience the loop. Like this, with some actual gameplay footage. And we'll bring it all up. Have some fun. Here we go, and I'll let you watch the things. the instruments down here and let's see what it sounds like in stiff. Awesome. All right, so one of the things I noticed was that over here, that last section, I like the accordion thing, but because the accordion is on beat and then my little doodads are not, let me find it. Right here, my plucks and my drum kit are not on beats. This feels weird, I don't know why. So let me just experiment with taking all of this and dragging it. I guess it'd be all of this stuff right here. Dragging all of it. 1/8 note sooner. Let's see if it feels better. I don't know, it doesn't sound as fun not being off the beat. awfully loud. There it is. I'm going to turn down the volume of all of my kick drums. That was too much. Cool. All right, friends. That was fun. Thanks for a good time. Man, 2 hours. Clocked in. How long is my track? Let's see. 2 seconds until 1:46. Oh, a minute and 44-second track. Jeez. But there's just something about the space, not wanting to fill all of the space, that makes this interesting. And I like that I did an A1, A2, then a B, C, D1, D2. So I gave 2 longer sections with 2 shorter sections in the middle. It just kind of lends itself, I think, a little bit stronger to being memorable at those moments, which is the beginning and the end. The middle kind of feels fresh. And you could always recycle these pieces, and game developer might want to, you know, if it's an A, B, C, D, D section-wise, they might want to shuffle it up a little bit. But whatever, add that option. So yeah, I'm going to end it there. No need to overwrite today, but I hope you had fun. I enjoyed all the little throwback VGM stuff. Good Pokemon tune. It's definitely not Pokemon. Just trying to play like Pallet Town. Oh, there it is. All right, friends, you have a lovely day. I'll post a final version of this with gameplay, with the sound effects and everything a little bit on the YouTubes and socials. Have a lovely day. I have a hard time ending this because it just seems like that didn't take long enough, but I have other things to do. So thank you all for being a part. I'll see you next time. Pallet Town. Yay, Jordan. You've joined the Sound Canvas Club. You are going to love it. Seriously, if you don't have Sound Canvas, I'm not a sponsor. I should be. I'm not a sponsor for Roland. But about 50% of video game music history. So I'm talking everything from the 90s and early 2000s. So I'm talking Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, some parts of the Wii, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS. What am I missing? I mean, there's a lot of consoles, but mostly the Nintendo ones, even PlayStation 1, maybe Xbox, I'm not sure. But most of the major consoles during that 15-year span, almost all of it came from that one Roland Sound Canvas, which was a VCR-sized rectangular box the size of an audio interface, and it just housed all those sounds. And so composers would connect it to their MIDI keyboard, to their DAW, or they would just line in, record it. If they didn't, in the early 90s, they didn't have much to work with. in the form of DAWs, especially for Super Nintendo. But they would take those samples and they would code them into their system, and it's a whole thing to get them into the ROMs for the cartridges and everything. But man, what a process. And then people like David Wise came along and actually sampled synthesizers and created masterpieces like Donkey Kong Country's Aquatic Ambience. He totally flipped the system on his head with that kind of stuff. But the original sampling all came from Roland Sound Canvas. Yeah, I mean, there's just like half of gaming. So if you can only buy one thing, it's a very cheap purchase. I think it's $70. Jordan just found it. It's worth it. I don't open up the Sound Canvas much anymore because I've made all of these things and sorted them. But yeah, I can't think of a faster way. I bet half of these sounds today were from that. Definitely the pianos, marimbas, pizzicato strings, the strings. I mean, think of your favorite games, like all the Zeldas, all of the Marios, Pokemons, like it's all there.